Hey guys, I wanted to shoot out a quick video. Um, to first off, I got home last night and got my first good sleep in my bed since being at the hospital since Monday. But I know that so many people have messaged me privately, personally, text me, tried to call me. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. It has been a lot to take in, and I don't know. I just want to share, I guess, pieces of my story. I don't know what this is ever going to look like, if this is just a thing I'm going to try and do, or, maybe a couple and that's it. But I would like to think that maybe I could do this and share it for those who don't necessarily care about me personally, but maybe they've got a story to tell. Um, but this initial video is just for all of you I have not gotten back to. Thank you. Thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Every message is important, and it was a bit overwhelming in the hospital trying to catch messages when I could, but I really tried to just be there and be present in what they were trying to do. So I know there's so many questions to everything, but I will say this. My hospital visit was due to a grand mal seizure back in November 23rd of 2022, I believe. Um, and I was immediately put on seizure meds, of course. Suffered about 3 months of just not being me, that were pretty intense. And so now, um, since, gosh, I don't want to just like have this 5 hour video. So ever since then, my brain hasn't quite worked the way it has in the past. And so we were just trying to figure things out, where I am, what's going on. Um, Needless to say, I was there. They're not really sure still. Um, I had that seizure that was real and identifiable, but the things that I've been going through, and the brain fog, and sometimes not being able to talk very well, or spelling, or really just having a normal day to be able to get things done, just hasn't come back. And so, they said possibly it could be some deep brain stuff. However, when I had a few of those moments there, it should have came up in the like electrical signals if it was physically present at that time. Even if it was deep brain, it should have kind of come to the surface a little bit, and it didn't. So we're going to keep pushing on, trying to figure out what that means for me. Um, I'm going to stay on seizure meds. We obviously don't want to just strip those from me and evoke another grand mal, as that was pretty dangerous and scary for those of you that have ever had one. I know it was terrifying for me. I never, ever wanted to experience that again. I was worried this hospital visit that would happen, and at the same time, I just wanted something to occur so that they could see something, help me. Um, and so we're just going to keep going. I'm going to have follow up appointments. A lot of it could be because of some really tragic events that have happened in my life. It could be some sort of PTSD syndromes that are popping up. Um, Obviously, stressors that have come to light, that are kind of continuing. And I believe there was one other thing. So we don't know, but I just know that I owe so many of you answers. Everyone's got questions. And I feel like there's so much to cover in my life. From talking to some of you before going into the hospital, from the way I might understand some things about me, is I probably always had this level of stress that I kind of surfed on in my life. And for me, it was perfect. You have the stress peak, right? And we kind of live down here. And then when something happens, we kind of step up, really. That high peak of stress is when we function at our best. We're the quickest. We are on it. We know what to do. Our mind and our body and our brain reacts very quickly to stimulus in this situation. However, I guess I've kind of been up there this whole time and I didn't know it. I know that probably sounds crazy. This is a lot for me to take in, but um, I had finally hit a peak that was, I finally hit an incident that was past my peak. And it somewhat broke me a little bit. And I don't know, I've never dealt with that. I've never felt stressed. I never felt like I was compartmentalizing anything in my life. Things would occur and people would come up to me and go, "Oh my God, Sarah, are you okay? Do you want to talk about that?" And truly in my mind, I was like, "No, but do you want to talk about it? How's that affect you?" And I always thought that God had basically just created me in a space of being able to handle everything so that I could be a cop. It's all I ever wanted to do. I wanted to eventually get to being a detective. And so I felt like if I could handle situations where maybe normally someone might show up on a scene and say, because it was a child or because it was someone that reminded them of their grandma, they could no longer do the job. And I felt like, thank God built me this way. I can go through these things and truly be that help, be that support. And so, I mean, and that was before getting into law enforcement, getting my feet in the door and eventually being there for like a total of about 7 years. I've always felt like I had a servant's heart. I could be there for people. So many people came to me and could rely on me, could trust me implicitly, and still can. However, I didn't share anything about myself. And that is a whole nother video, probably, I don't even know, probably hundreds of videos to say, okay, guys, I know some of you have thought you knew me. Some of you have known me from a certain age, but you knew you didn't know everything. There's a lot there to unpack, and I've never done that. I never felt the need. Um, I felt if I looked broken or vulnerable, aka to me not strong, that how could I help anyone else? They're not going to look at me and say, I would love to come to her right now and ask her for her help, her support, her prayers, her peer support. But I see that she's struggling, so she's not the one. And I always wanted to be the one. And for a long time I was, and I feel like I still am, and I can still get back to that level of being there. I always sympathized with people if I hadn't been in their situation. And I could definitely empathize when someone was telling me a story that hit home, had happened to me. And I could empathize and really talk to them about that. But I could never delve into my own. And I really didn't see it as a problem. I didn't. I know that probably sounds crazy to people that function kind of normally, like things hurt them and they cry, right? Or they're angry. I had never been angry until 2022. That probably sounds weird. My daughter would tell you, I never want to piss you off. And I'd be like, why? I'm so nice. I don't yell at you. Like, you're a good kid. And she'd be like, that's kind of it though. Like, you don't yell, you don't say anything. You are nice when I fuck up. Sorry. That's kind of me, guys. Most of you know that part, but I do apologize if I offend anyone with my language. I kind of flows sometimes, but she was like, "Man, if you ever got mad at me, I don't know how you'd be." And I felt really bad about that. But also, I kind of laughed, like, gosh, I wouldn't do that, you know? And I haven't. I still haven't. I don't. Anger, I think, for a lot of women, and I talked to one of my good friends that had came by the hospital, but I think a lot of times for women, we're not allowed, we're not told, we're groomed to not be angry about anything. We're supposed to be good, be perfect, handle things. And I think a lot of us do that all the time. But anger is an emotion, and it is a really good emotion. And hopefully, I really let that out somehow. Like I was very angry, but in a resentful way. Um, and I didn't like that feeling. I don't, haven't up until that point really held grudges or got mad at someone and felt like there was some revenge that needed to be taken. Like my whole life, things would come up, people would say things, do things, as a young child, call me weird or, whatever. And I I felt God the whole time. No one had to teach me about him. I just was like, this too shall pass. This isn't about me. I don't take it personal. Like hurt people. And, I wonder what they're going through to feel this way. So again, this is more rambling than I even wanted to do on this first one. And I don't know if there's more to be told. Well, I know there is. I know I'm going to struggle telling you guys, but because I'm usually funny, I usually make jokes about stressful things that happen to me. Um, and so, again, I don't know where this begins or ends, but I want you guys to know, thank you. I have people reach out to me that I haven't talked to in decades, reaching out and was thinking about me and wondering what in the heck is wrong with me, what happened, you know? And there's been several months this last year where I was ashamed, I was embarrassed about myself, and I would try to squeak out a little something like, maybe if they read into it, they'll know it's about me. Um, I would post things that kind of hid my name. Um, I tried doing a GoFundMe, and everyone's like, "Who is this person? Who are you talking about? Do you know them personally?" And I could not, for the life of me, say it's me. Um, and so, because I didn't want that pity, I didn't, and I don't even look at other people this way. That's crazy, right? Like I see people talk about their horrible things that they're going through, their issues, their health, their family life every day. And I'm not like, oh my gosh, just stop. I just feel for them. But to do it myself, that's, nah, we don't need to do that. The world has enough, right? Like these people are taking on enough things. I just want to help them. So we'll just, you know, not talk about me. If you've ever talked to me, sometimes it's really quiet and short. How you doing, Sarah? I'll be like, I'm good. How are you? Like, what's going on in your life? And I don't know, maybe I've gotten to a moment where I need to say, this is what's going on. And if people don't really want to know, maybe they'll stop asking, or maybe everything I've ever done my whole life will finally make sense. So here's to me, being vulnerable. Not something I ever saw for myself as a strength. And um, here's to getting to know me. But Thank you guys. Thank you for everything you've ever done for me or tried to do, and I didn't allow it. Um, I want to take all that in. So again, I'm home. Um, I'm doing okay, right? Not everything's perfect. I need to get used to saying that, but we're going to try. And I have so many things that I've had wrong with me for a very long time, but I felt like that's not important. Like my issues are not that important. There's other people to save. So here I am. I'm Sarah. This is not my normal voice. I've been struggling with some kind of cold or something. Hopefully, I get it back soon. But this is me. Thank you guys. I love you guys. You have really just touched my heart. So thank you. Thank you.